Hey folks, Randy, we're doing cut and trim. So, I know you're looking at me and you're like, Randy, that's a slick shirt you're wearing. It looks brand new. We're used to you wearing a shirt that looks more like this. This shirt was this color when I bought it. I just got some new uniform shirts, and I wanted to talk to you guys about that. Because I've gone through quite the metamorphosis. That's probably not the correct word. I'm not sure what the word is. I'll just say it and we can figure out the word later. So when I first started getting uniform shirts, like the first time I ever got uniform shirts was in 2015, and I went on Spreadshirt.com and put my logo on a shirt. Got 2 of them. It was very cool. But then I was like, they were like screen printed. But then I was like, I really want to up my game. I want to get embroidered uniforms. Because, anybody in there, any old guy can get, screen printed. But embroidered? Oh, you mean business if you're embroidered. And so I was looking online and I found this company out in Florida called Logo Up. LogoUp.com. And I used them from 2016 up until 2019, and that's where I would get all my uniforms, and they're great. I don't want to, this is not negative about them. They're great. I really liked working with them. I felt like they could be a little pricey, but it is what it is. But you go on there, you like get your logo uploaded, and you can go through and like select what products you want, in what size and what color, and Logo Up will embroider your logo on the stuff and send it out to you. Problem I had with Logo Up, there was 2. One was I felt like they took forever. My turnaround time with them was like 3 or 4 weeks. It took a long time. From the time I placed the order to the time it got to me, it just took forever. But the other thing, I was limited to what they had. So for the sake of example, I'm very rough on shirts, and so I needed something heavy duty, and realized, not early on, but eventually realized that Carhartt was the uniform shirt for me. That's what I have been wearing for the last 2 years. It's a heavy duty shirt, good material. They make me feel good about myself because of the way they size things. And just a good work shirt. And Logo Up has them, but Logo Up had a very limited, you were very limited with what you could buy from Carhartt. Logo Up had like they would have like short sleeve shirts, but like it wouldn't be in the right color, or they would have long sleeve shirt. Like they just didn't have the colors I needed, because my uniforms have always been forest green. And so I knew Carhartt sold forest green long sleeve shirts, but Logo Up didn't stock them, so I was just kind of out of luck. Well, that's when I discovered the magic of building relationships with small local companies like mine, for the sake of example. There's a woman in my church that has her own embroidery business. I had no idea. And so I found out she and my mother are very close friends. Her and her daughter and my sister are very close friends. Her son and I are, well, we know each other. Just kidding. Actually, her son used to would come over to my house and play Sega Genesis while I watched. But I don't know why I got off on that. Anyway, but so I found out she had her own embroidery business, and I was like, shoot, well, here's my logo. What can we do? And she was like, well, let me get back to you. And I told her, I said, look, I want everything to be on Carhartt, forest green. Here's some examples of what I got. Here's the whatever that file, the vector file of my logo. You know, what can we do? And so she took a look at it, and the first thing she said was like, and this is one thing I didn't like about Logo Up. She said, how come your logo is a different color on your work shirts? Because the way Logo Up had done it, Logo Up said we can't put 2 tones of green on a dark green shirt. That just won't work. And so my uniform shirts were like it was this like light green, and then this was white. I think it was white and green. And I told her, well, Logo Up told me that's what they had to do. And she said, well, let me mess with it. She was like, do you have an old shirt? And I said, yeah. And so I gave her an old shirt that looked very much like this one. And so I just told her, I was like, yeah, I mean, here you go. The inside is much more close to what the actual color is. And she was like, all right, let me mess with it. And she sent me a sample, and I was like, dude, that's perfect. And it had the correct colors of my logo on it. I was like, oh, this is awesome. So I talked to her about it. I was like, that's great. I said, also, you know, because Logo Up, you could only, like, it was pretty small, the logo here. And I was like, can you, like, make that logo bigger? And she did. So, like, the logos before would be, like, half the size of this. So she doubled the size of the logo. And I was like, man, this is awesome. So, talked to her about it. She said, she told me what the price is. She's told me I'm not allowed to say what I pay. Because that might not be, I might be getting friends and family discount, something like that. But yeah, anyway, so I got that for, I don't want to say what, I just got done saying I wasn't going to say how much I paid, and I was just about to tell you how much I paid. But basically, it's a super easy process where, like I'll take this for example. I contacted her Wednesday last week, and it's like, hey, I want to get 3 shirts made. Can you send me an invoice? And so she did. She sent me. She does it through Etsy. She sent it to me. I paid it, and then I went on Amazon. This was great. I went on Amazon, picked out the 3 shirts I wanted, and when I went to pay for it, I set the delivery to her address instead of mine. And so Amazon just shipped the shirts directly to her. Now, normally that would have been like a 2-day process, but you know, because of the pandemic, it ended up I ordered on Wednesday, and I believe they arrived either Saturday or Sunday. So still really quick. And then she texted me yesterday, today being Wednesday. She texted me yesterday and was like, hey, shirts are ready. And I was like, great, I'll be up there Wednesday, today. So 7 days after I started this process, I have 3 new uniform shirts. And it's because I was able to form a relationship with a local company. And, you know, I'm going to keep going to her. I mean, I think ultimately I do end up paying a little more working with her than I do with Logo Up. But because I'm working with a local company where I'm working with someone I can directly interface with, I'm able to get exactly what I want. You know, I'm not limited by what shirts she stocks, which isn't, I don't think she stocks any. I just pick the shirts that I want. I give them to her. She does her stitching magic, and then I've got what I want. You know, it's perfect. So I would really encourage you guys for uniform shirts, if you're not just doing it yourself, because that's actually what I was going to do. I was actually going to buy the machines and stuff, and I was going to start embroidering this stuff myself, because I was realizing, you know, over time it's cheaper to just do it yourself as opposed to hiring a company to do it. But because I've got that relationship with her, I can just send my business to her, and we both can make, you know, she can make money and I don't have to deal with it. And it just works out great. So I would highly encourage you guys to, like, you know, either like, you know, your friends group or your you know, your church or something. Like, find somebody that does this kind of work, because I guarantee you, man, like, if you know somebody with a sewing machine, you probably know somebody with an embroidery machine. Just saying, because they don't cost that much, relatively speaking. So, like, make that relationship, and then I tell you, man, it is just, it really makes life easier, because then you can get exactly what you want and the exact size you want. You can order from the cheapest company, you know, like, I mean, I want a Carhartt shirt. So I already know the quality that I'm ordering. So I don't care where I get the shirts from, as long as I'm getting the best deal on it, you know. And then, like I said, just send it. I'm just sending it directly to her house. She does the work, and boom, looks cool. So this is Randy with Dolan Cut and Trim. Start networking with local companies again, like especially with what's going on in the world right now, man. I mean, you know, support local. You know, like shop local, unless you know. I mean, and Amazon, but also shop local. So this is Randy with Dolan Cut and Trim. Oh, and you know, the other thing is that like when I get the stuff, it comes professional too. Like she doesn't just like, it wasn't all balled up in a bag. She puts them back in the bags. That's so cool, man. So it's like even cooler because it's like in the plastic bag, but you can see like my logo's on there, and you know, it's still in the bag. It just feels professional, you know, just it feels right. So thank you, Twin Needles Sewing. And I encourage you guys to either reach out to Twin Needles Sewing yourself, or find someone local to you and get your uniform needs taken care of that way. What we're working on now is hats. I'm actually that's probably gonna be the next thing I do, is order a hat and have that sent to her and see what she can do with it. So it's Randy with Dolan Cut and Trim. Have a good one.